Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning. It's me again. We're back with another installation. It's Tope here from Israel Keys Market. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Good, good, good. I hope you're keeping safe and well. The weather's taking a turn for a gray kind of scheme today. I hope you guys are not feeling gray. You're not feeling gray, not great, but you're not feeling gray like the weather. Um, Good, good. So, without further ado, I'm just gonna, carry on with what we have for today. Israel, thank you for having me. Hope you're doing well as well. Okay, so this week we continue on our session that we're having, and last week at other blocks, and we looked at the dynamics and what have you, and why we have other blocks, and we looked at the theoretical part of things in the market when it comes to order block. I remember I was talking about that amazing television, right? The one that can walk your dog, the one that could make dinner or breakfast for you. So we're going to bring all that into the chat today, okay? And today it's just very simple. So all that theoretical and schematics that we looked at last week, we're going to be looking at the practical aspect of it on the charts today. Okay, we'll look at a couple of charts, and all we're just going to do is to identify order blocks. Order blocks. Okay, so you can take your notepad and write, put a big title at the top and just say order blocks. Okay, order blocks. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at today. So, if you remember, the last time I drew example of of what other blocks should look like for you, and we said if we had a bullish candles going up. Let me do another one here. Bullish candles going up. The other block, the other block should be what causes that move up. So let's now paint this one red, and whatever causes that move up is not going to be the same direction or the same color as so for example, imagine all the gray candles are bullish. Your order block must be the opposite. It must be the opposite colored candle before the rally up. Okay, so we're talking about this red candle here. Okay, and in the same vein, if we are looking to identify, so let me clarify. So this candle we're looking at here is going to be something called a bullish order block. So let's just call it um, BUOB. Okay, bullish order block. Just okay. Let me just label everything bullish order block. Okay, so that's a bullish order block. Why is it called bullish order block? Because out of this manufacturing company, that's where this amazing TV came out that we can sell to people at premium price. Okay, it's the origin of the move up. Okay, and at the same time, if we see price going up, um, the the order block in that situation would look like this. So we have price coming down. Sorry, price coming down. Where is the order block? The order block is going to be an opposite candle, but it has to be opposite candle, which will be a bullish candle. So for bearish, if we're looking for in a trending market, in a market that is trending south, the order block is going to be a bullish candle. Okay, and in a market that is trending up, the order block is going to be a bearish candle. I know it could be kind of confusing. So this candle now, this gray candle, I see the gray candle, that will be called a bearish order block. Okay, bearish order block. Okay, it's a bearish order block. Remember, this is where, this is the origin of this move down. This is the origin of this move up. Okay, so this is a simple idea. Now, the market might not look exactly pretty this way. It will present itself in different forms to you. The candles will look ugly at times, they won't look this smooth. But all you just want to focus on is the opposite candle before the drop down, or the opposite candle before the rally up. Okay, and when we are choosing order blocks, it is always good for us to choose the one with the beefiest body. So it's possible for you to have multiple bullish candle in this area, and you're thinking, which one should I take? It's always good for you to take the one with the biggest body. That just shows there's more transaction that's gone on in there, in comparison to other small order blocks. Okay, so you can have this type. You can have this type. You can also have you can also have um, this type where you would have a candle that is quite big like this. Okay, it's quite a bearish candle that is big like before that move up. It's still going to be the same thing. That candle will still be the origin or the order block. Okay, same thing for the bearish order block. Okay. All right. So I think it's time we'll go on to the chart now. From last week till now, I think we did a lot of theory. So let's do some practical here. Let's do some practical. Okay. All right. So let's go to the charts. So here is a chart of a weekly chart of pound US dollar. Okay, pound US dollar. And remember our theory from what we studied. If the market, has been rallying up, there is a cause for it and something that's created it. Okay, so let's just start from here, and let's just simply what we're doing tonight. We're just going to be identifying all the blocks, and we'll be labeling them. So I'm going to change this color to something nicer that we can see. Okay, let me increase my volume. I hope I'm clear now. Okay, so now we see price rallying from this point going up. There is a cause for that. And if you notice this red candle, if you draw that out, that is a very good order block. So in a market that is going up, what would you call this order block? What would you call this order block? Is this a bullish or bearish order block? Okay, this would be a bullish order block. Okay. Also think of it this way: bullish order blocks are always the selling candles, bearish order blocks are the buying candles. Okay, that should help you as well. So this candle here, that red candle, is the bullish order block. And as you see that price continues to rally up, it creates multiple order blocks. There's another one here. There's another one here. Okay, and there's another one here. Look, this there was some sort of consolidation here before the boom, the move up. What caused that? this candle here, okay? Or you can choose this thick one over here, the thickest one there, showing all the activity. And as you can see, price came respected it. Price came back, respected that, respected this, although it went below a little bit. This is just to clear orders. And if you remember our other session that we talked about stop hunts, so this is the other thing we always watch out for in the market, stop hunts. Okay. This will also teach you something. The best order blocks are the ones that are created out of stop hunts. Okay, so here you go. Another order block formed here. Price rallied up, came back down, and touched. Just came back into it, and then rallied up again. And then we have some sort of consolidation, and then price took off again. Came back down on top of that order block, and then rallied up again. But this time it could not create what? It could not create what? A higher high. So we're showing that the market is already exhausting. And instantly, when we have finally this level broken by this big red candle coming down, it created what for us now. So now the market dynamics has changed. We're going south. So in a selling trend or selling scenario, what do you call the other blocks at the top now? What do you call this other block? So remember now, this candle was dropping, and the origin of that drop is this bullish candle. So that is going to be called what? It will be called a bearish order block. A bearish order block. Okay? It's a bearish order block. A bearish order block. Okay? Can you see how simple that is? Okay? And then as the market continues to go drop lower, it creates more order blocks. Here is another one over here. And look, that was where price reversed. Look, price reversed there 2 weeks ago. Hit it and did what again? Remember, stop hunt over here. Look, stop hunt. Now another gold nugget I'm going to drop is when you have a stop hunt into order block, both bullish and bearish, those trades are always amazing trades. Okay, take it from me. That's the way it is because now they've combined two things: a level where there are lots of orders and a level where there are lots of stops resting. Retailers have put a lot of stops there. Breakout traders have put their orders there. So now the market comes, takes takes all their stops, triggers all their stops. Sorry, triggers all the breakout traders, and also is dropping into an area where all the buyers or all the sellers. So at this level, we can imagine that sellers are willing to sell. Okay, there's lots of sellers. You can say there are lots of institutional money waiting here because they drove the price down here. These are like hundreds of pips here. These 952 pips. Okay, you and I couldn't do this. This is big institution that drove the price down here. So therefore, this is a mark of institution. So that area is telling you that they're doing lots of business there. When we have a stop hunt into, so they stop hunted this week, or week the 31st of June was stop hunted by this week that started in, let's see, 7th, the 7th of June. Sorry, the other one is 31st of May and the 7th of June. Stop hunted it. Look, the drive down has been aggressive. And I believe it will continue to go down because we got clean levels below. Okay, we got clean levels below. So that is why I believe it's going to keep dropping. Okay, so look at this. And as we continue, like we said, this move down created this order block. But at the same time, in between, there's some other blocks as well. Look at this drop down. It created this order block. Okay, was that order block strong? No, because it was dismantled by this move up. Okay, and that's because they have a double top over here of these 2 weeks. What happens in double tops? Many people put their stops in there. Okay, retail traders put their stops there. Okay, and they are watching this trade come down, and they're really happy. They'll keep moving their stops tighter, and then boom, the market makers have seen that they will take it out into this order block, and then price drops. Okay, so the same thing you can see on the weekly, you can see it on the daily. If we drop down to a daily time frame, okay, daily time frame, let us clean the chart up, clean the chart, clean the chart. So you can see more order blocks created. So let's start from the side. This price, there's a rally up from there. Look, there's rally up. So the origin, that red candle before the rally up. Okay. Then when it decided to break down, there was this origin over here that caused the breakdown. Okay. But bear in mind, on the weekly, we have already identified all these one, two, three, four, five candles. That's 1 week. That's a bearish order block on the weekly time frame. Okay. On the weekly time frame. And that was why price reversed over here in this current time. So let's continue. Price came down and over here consolidated a bit and then boom, moved up. And it created what for us again? What would you call an order block that is created from a rally up? This will be called what? A bullish order block. Okay? You can extend that out and you wait to see what happens when price gets to that level. You can see that double top that we're talking about on the weekly over here, right? Price went up, came down. There's no obvious order blocks here except for this doji like looking order block. Okay, market out. Price came bounced on it. This drop down, this bullish, this bearish order block, but this bullish candle, market out. That rally down created another order block. Can you see this big bullish candle? Another order block here. Created a drop. Price went back into it, rallied back into it. It stop hunted a couple of days into that area and then dropped. Okay, that's a very good, will be a very good trade as well. Anytime there's a stop hunt into an order block, it's always a nice trade. Is always a nice trade. You can rate your trading based on that. You can call it A star trading or a B star trade or something like that. You can rate it. I do rate my trades at times like that as well. Okay. Right. So as price continues to, do this amazing dance in the market, it creates the order blocks. Okay. So this move up is not as aggressive, but it's okay. And that day closed above this previous day. So therefore, this bearish candle has given us a bullish order block. We draw that out and see what happens. And you see the following day, a couple of days after price came into it and then rallied up aggressively. Okay, moved off aggressively. So now within this same big order block, it's created another order block, bullish order block. Okay, you see this candle here? Extend it out. So I'm referring to this candle, this one here. And then price moved off aggressively 2 days after. Guess what happened? They came back. One, two, on the third day, they dipped back into it and look, exploded off. Exploded off. And guess where it was heading to? It was heading to, remember this line from the weekly candle? It went straight to the weekly order block. So you can imagine if you were able to hold on this trade. If you took this trade, you will have been able to get 500 plus pips. Okay. So now price got to this level and decided to reverse again. And like we always do, price always leave the mark of the big banks. Okay, Israel the other day was given an example. He was saying institutions they're like big elephants, and they can't do anything without you noticing. Okay, you will notice them. So once price got to that level, it decided to fall, and it fell hard. It did, and it created another level. This is level here. Okay, but I said, like if you have a couple of candles and you got thick ones, it's best for you to go for the thick one, you know. So you can argue that this candle has a very slim body compared to this one, this candle, this one. Okay. So if you mark that out, it did, is a very good order block. Price dropped aggressively. And then when price came back after the drop, one, two, three, day four, price came back into the order block. Guess what it did again? It stop hunted another day into bearish, the bearish order block. And then what happened? It dropped aggressively. Now, as it drops, like we say, it will always create this order block. See, look at another order block over here. Created as it dropped away out of it. Price came back after the drop. How many days of drop? One, two, three, four. So let's count from when price left this area, okay? One, two, three. Third day. On the fourth day, guess what it did again? It stopped hunted another day into this order block. Look, stop hunted into it and boom. Are we starting to see like a kind of trend here that a stop hunt into other blocks? They always seem to do a good job. Okay. Now what we just need to do is then if we've identified, a stop hunt into an order block, it's now left for us to say, okay, how am I going to enter the trade? All right. But we then go on. There's a drop in the market, and as the drop happened, look, it created another order block. Okay. Day one dropped out. The following day came back in, dipped into it and dropped. Okay, and dropped. So now we're heading towards this other block over here. And I drew this line out because it's the low of this particular day. Let's go to weekly. Maybe it's a low of a week. No, it's not a low of a week, it's a low of a day. So will this big order block hold price? It's a question we cannot answer because the market maker, they're there to, they will do whatever what they want to do, but it's left for us to um, identify what they're looking to do on the market. But if you ask me, I will feel it's going to continue down later. Temporarily, it might like to rally back up again and want to stop hunt another day into the other block, and then move off to where it wants to go because this weekly order block looks really big and strong. Okay. And I feel there's a lot of liquidity here. Okay. All right. Let's look at Euro USD. Euro USD. So this exercise, I will please implore you to go on your charts. In fact, when you're looking at watching any of this session, it will be good for you to just have your charts next to you and just copy what we do. So this is Euro USD. Straight um, out of so straight away, this is the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame. And one other thing I want to drop when you have supposing you have a bearish, so this is a bullish order block there. There's a bearish order block, this thick one over here. Let's just use that. Okay, price has not got there yet. um so price came down. We expected a reaction at that level. It did a little bit on this week. It bounced off, but then there was a final breakthrough below it. What is that telling you? If a bearish order block is broken through and through, they're also trying to tell you that they're no more in a buying market. Okay, we're not buying anymore. We're now looking to sell. Okay, so all the orders swallowed up the buying orders here. The sellers overpowered the buyers, and price just fell through. And if you notice, price did a retest. Price came back. went back into the old order block, stop hunted into it, the, a particular week there, and then dropped. And then the buyers tried their best to push it back up. No, they couldn't make it. They dropped aggressively. They went, no, we have to push this part. They went back up again. No, the sellers were too powerful. Same back into that level. So it means this level was a very important level, and then price continued to drop. Okay, from there. So that was an indication that okay, we're no more in a buying scenario. We're now in a selling scenario. Let's go to the daily to give us more data for the picture. So, right, it's obvious. Can somebody just say quickly, what is this doing? Is this dropping or going up? Was that a drop? It's a drop. Okay. So if it is a drop, we're looking to identify a bearish order block. And as you can see, this candle, the bullish candle before the drop, extend it out and just wait for price to come back and do its magic into that level. Okay, and as you can see, price dropped. Day one, day two, return to it. Day three, return to it, drop aggressively. And as it's dropping, it's created another bearish order block. Let me zoom in to show you. So so there's a first bearish order block there, second bearish order block drop. Now price dropped and then rallied up from this level. This level's got a huge, huge, huge bullish order block. Massive. This is massive, like huge. Okay, huge. So now price rallied out of that and went straight back into that bearish order block. Okay, it caused price to drop. And as price dropped, it dropped into where this humongous bullish order block, this red candle before this rally up. And price has not been able to break through it. It's just been bouncing, between these two order blocks. There's another order block here. So remember, guys, as the price moves, it creates new levels of order blocks. It always create new levels. Okay. So each time it moves, it will create a new level. And when one level is broken, it's just telling you the strength of one side of the market. So, for example, this bullish, this bearish order block over here, that's at the top here, that held price down for a few good months. How many months? Let's see from here. So, for about 27 days, okay, let's just call it for 1 month. It held down price, okay. Price finally, the market, the buyers finally succeeded and broke through it over here, right? So they're now telling you that okay, we're in a strong move. So intraday, you could be looking for trading, bullish trading opportunities as price has gone through it. But still within the zone, we're still creating zone. So this rally up, we have an origin, an order block over here that caused that move up. Price drop down. We have another level created here. Okay. Price moved up. We have a level created here. When price drop down here, we have this level created here. Okay. So you can see there was like some sort of ping pong in the market. There was this bouncing up and down. This this we can't say that's an aggressive move up. It's not really aggressive until here. Aggressive move up, and we have this thick candle over here that we'll take. Okay, that's a very good order block, and price rallied out of it. This time, the power of the sellers was exhausted over here. They couldn't do much and just gave up the ghost, and price rallied up through the level. And as price has done that, it will create levels for us. So this move up was created by this bearish candle. So it's a level you can draw out. Okay, let's remove this big one. Okay, if we leave this, normally price will always use it again. Look at that. So is coming bouncing on top of that again on the daily. But there's still this big one at the top. So now they might play some ping pong at this level before a final breakthrough. Okay. So based on what we're talking about, this is just a simple way to identify order blocks, bearish and bullish order blocks. But at the same time, some order blocks are their quality is different from another. So we'll have a quality. So what makes me say an order block is a good quality? The first would be the first would be the um, the first would be Sorry, I was just reading some of your questions. The first reason, yeah, the question I see here, order blocks are representative of points where a trader can input orders. Yes, it is a good area to trade. So if you want to look to buy or you to look to sell, you want to do that at an order block. So if you want to look to sell, like the first example that we're given, that a stop hunt into an order block is a star trade. So when you see stop hunts into order blocks, they're always very good trades. Okay, always very good. So if you find those kind of trades, they're the ones you could say, okay, this is my A star trade. I will put, you know, I'll be. It gives you confidence. So look at this order block here. For example, price came down, stop hunted this previous day into it, and you can see it stayed a little bit, stop onto another day, and then pushed up from there. Okay, the same thing on the reverse. We've identified this order block from weeks ago. Price rallied into it, stop onto this day, dropped. Remember last week we were analyzing Euro USD, and the move on the H4 started from here, and it came down and it dropped from there. Some of us caught this nice trade down. But as these moves happen, all you just need to do is to identify your order block. The second point, um, I would like to get clarity on how significant an order block is on a chart and what it really is. Okay, Jared, I hope I've been able to answer the question because I feel I've answered that question. But the significance of an order block is simply where the market makers they do business. That's where they do business. Okay. If you noticed last week, if you remember last week, we were talking about this amazing warehouse where you get this amazing TV that can walk your dog. You can get it made at a dirt cheap price, this discounted price, okay, and then you can come out and sell it to other people at whatever price you want to sell it. Okay. So look at it as where the deals are done. So let's remove the manufacturing company. Let's talk about banks. That's where banks do their business. Okay. That is the significance of an order block. So if the big banks are doing deals at a particular level, if it is good for the bank, it is good for you. Okay. So that should be the same way we trade. And all we just try to do is we look for opportunities around those areas. Okay. Now, price is fractal. Let me just take you to another, a little bit further, and then we'll close for tonight. As I've shown you this on the weekly and the daily, it also happens on the H4. I guarantee you that within this level gray area that we've marked, you will see order blocks on the H4. Okay. Now, if you layer these things together, it gives you extra confluence. Extra confluence. Okay. Extra confluence. So if you notice, we drew this area out as a bearish order block. Okay, this area. But if I move this box now and zoom it up, that's a H4 bearish order block. Now, all of a sudden, that place becomes more accurate now. Look, price hit it and dropped. Okay, if I scoot back a little bit, if you look at this whole area of bullet daily order block, if I change move now my rectangle to the H4 within it, oh wow! All of a sudden, look at that! Look at the precision. Yeah, Look at how precise that is. And boom, price hit it, went up. They couldn't go past this level. And as a daily, remember, daily order block was created here to move up. It will continue to create levels, okay, upon levels. And if you're able to get those trades whereby your H4 order block lines up with your daily order block, it will just be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. Okay. Now look at this gray area, the gray area we marked from the daily order block. I can only let me extend it forward so you can see. Let me delete that. If you notice within that level, there is another H4 bearish order block. If I draw that out, look at how it lined up perfectly. So now we got a H4 bearish order block within a daily order block. Price rallies into these two order blocks and therefore give us a nice reaction. Do some hundred of pips, 182 pips, okay? And we were gone in for this move, okay? 139 pips drop down, okay? Look, still within that area, there's another H4 order block here. Look, price came back into it, boom, dropped. Is it a coincidence? No. This is just order blocks mechanics. Okay, but as this price look, they're rallying up aggressively. You look, there's a big candle over here, big H4 candle over here. Price rallied out of it. Price came back into it. Boom, rallied up. Okay, that's a H4 order block. Look at this. So this price is not tested it yet. So we don't know what it's going to do there, but this is where we are now. Okay. These levels look too clean. I suspect they want to come for it. Okay. So this is just the H4 levels layered with the daily order block. Okay. So I would please encourage you to practice. Let me just show you another one quickly. Can you see this gray area, which is our daily order block? We have a H4 bullish H4 order block there. Draw that out and look at our price. Tagged it once, tagged it twice, stop wanted, went up. Okay. So Israel caught, I think Israel caught this move last week on Friday. Was a good one. Okay. So guys, here it is. Here it is. I would be I would be open to any of your questions if you do have one. I hope this is clear to you guys. Do you have any questions? Okay, Gerald said, yeah, that was good. Okay, brilliant. Okay, great. If you don't have any question, I'll hand over to Israel. Thank you guys for staying with me. Israel, over to you, sir.